Welcome to the Maladjusted Monkeys, episode 3. I'm Tommy Archer, joined with me always from now on anyway, my co-host, a man who without me, none of him would be possible. It's Shane Clupp.
Cheers, Tommy.
Mate, good to have you
for
back.
everything.
Mate, you are more than welcome. Mate, it's been a couple of weeks.
I know, it's been too long. It's your fault you moved to Ipswich.
Oh, sorry, mate. We're back in the original studio. It is fucking cold this morning in Ipswich. I'm wearing my best dad jumper. Mate, that haircut, I can't get over it. You are looking good.
Cheers, mate.
You are looking good. Flano, new flano?
No, dude, I'm pretty sure...
Is that a flano?
Yeah, this is one of the ones we bought. Like,
Oh, fuck. Well,
again,
don't say we. We don't own a house together or anything like that. All right?
No, again, going back to like everything I owe to you.
Oh, yeah.
This shirt is one of those things.
Oh, well, you're looking good, mate. Mate, a lot happened the last few weeks. We've had ANZAC Day. We're both turning 30 basically this weekend, having our party tonight. Well, let's start with ANZAC Day. What'd you do?
Oh, I got pretty lucky, actually. I was able to go back home to Maryborough and spend it with my grandfather and my great-grandfather. Yeah, got to... Oh, well...
They both served?
Yeah, so my great-grandfather was World War II veteran and my grandfather's a Vietnam veteran. And then also my dad and my Uncle Marsh as well, wearing my grandfather's biological father's medals and my grandmother's father's medals as well. So there's five generations of us marching together.
Jeez,
So,
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I know
really?
I always know like your grandfather served, but I didn't know
Yeah.
you had that much history throughout the family.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. Like I remember the first time I went back to Mary after coming back from Afghan, and that first march I did with him was pretty awesome because I looked up to him so much as a young fella, and he was the main reason why I wanted to join the army. So being able to march side by side with him, and
So you marched this year?
yeah. So
And then what'd you do after the march?
I went back to the RSL with them, and obviously had a few beers and caught up, and it was awesome because because my father and my uncles live in Townsville, so they all came back, and
That's cool.
just huge family catch up. It was really good, and then went down to Harvey Bay, which is about half hour away from Maryborough, and caught up with my mum and one of my other schoolmates who was a medic, and so it was probably one of the best ANZAC days I've had in a long time. Obviously. Bit off of
the
usual thing of going into the city and all that peacocking and whatnot. So,
Yeah, well, I think this is the first ANZAC Day where our tight group of mates haven't been together.
Yeah.
And so I didn't go into the city. I didn't go into Brisbane City. I had to be convinced by the missus to actually wear my medals and do anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the days leading up, I was anxious about it. I don't know why I was anxious about it. I just didn't really want to do anything.
So where did you go? Did you go into the city to watch the march?
So we actually got up late, and then it's so hard to do the dawn service with the young fella at the moment. Yep. So let him sleep through. Got up, had like a barbecue brekkie with our neighbour. And then I put the suit on and the medals. We went to Ipswich CBD and watched the march, just so little fella could see that. He loved it. And then went to I wish I could remember the name of it. There's a pub in Ipswich. Met up with Muller.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I wish I could remember the name of it. Great pub.
Yeah.
Probably the best ANZAC Day for me because walked in and wasn't wall to wall with AJs with medals.
That's
had lunch, had a few drinks. Mate, random people kept wanting to buy me drinks. Bar staff said, "Oh no, this drink's on me."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which you wouldn't get.
No.
In Brisbane when we normally go.
Imagine that them trying to give out free drinks to them. Yeah.
Oh no, shock horror, right? So. Yeah, it was good. And then, mate, I was home by like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, eating hot chips, tomato sauce. That's it.
Yeah, nice.
That's all I did.
Well, I was actually talking to my partner about it, and I'm not too sure if I, in the upcoming years, because it's such a big trip, and usually it'll fall midweek or something like that. So Madison can't always come back because she can't get the time off.
Yep.
It'd be nice to do something like that with us boys and do something a bit more low key because I'm finding more and more that I'm getting a lot more out of it. Being able to talk instead of going into the city and being packed in with a bunch of I guess modern veterans who have a bit more of a mentality of partying it up.
Instead
of more of a...
Even the way you just said that sounded so old. Partying it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I mean we're all guilty of, but it was good because it's not even like talking to my grandfather and great grandfather, but talking to other older veterans and whatnot. I found I got a lot more out of that than just going out there purely to get myself written off. And
yeah, and I think that's why this year was good for both of us. Like I said, I didn't want to wear the medals. I'm still figuring out why I felt like that.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what it was, but yeah, not being. There's something about every other year we've gone into Brisbane. We always get the same pub. We go to the Plough Inn. Shout out to the Plough Inn. Still love that place.
Yes.
Still got awesome ribs. Nothing against the Plough Inn, but it's just every AJ's there. Everyone. It just becomes into a pissing contest for some reason. And then there's a point in the day where everyone's that blind, there's fights that start, and I don't know, it just gets messy.
I don't feel it's in the spirit of what it's meant to be at all.
No. And even the public perception of ANZAC Day, as well, it just gets a little bit too much. You see all the ads, it's starting to become really commercialised, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was happy with what I did. Couple of drinks, quiet one, and that was it.
No, it's funny that you bringing up the not wanting to wear the gongs. That's something that came out in my last session. She noticed actually there was a bit of a trend in some of the things that I was talking about. And one of the things that kept coming, that I kept saying, was about feeling just entitled to my own identity in a lot of ways. And so with the medals, like I still feel a lot of times like I didn't really earn my medals over there, like because I think we talked about it last time, like comparing ourselves to diggers of old and what they went through compared to what I guess we went through. And then I don't know you know this, but I identify as Aboriginal, and like you look at me and white as, but I grew my grandmother raised me and she's a full-blooded Aboriginal, so I grew up to think of myself as Aboriginal and other things like that. And so like I don't feel entitled to even consider myself Aboriginal. I don't feel entitled to my medals, and she said to me that she doesn't think that I never thought about it in these terms, but even if my skin was darker, even if I got into more contacts and saw more things like that I would still probably feel that same way. And so it's an interesting it's been interesting the last few weeks trying to work out why that is, and what is it that's driving me to feel that way and whatnot. Because like at the end of the day, we both lost a close mate and saw things over there and whatnot, but to still on some level feel like I haven't earned those medals there's obviously an issue there that.
Yeah, well, I think we kind of touched on it that last episode where, we compare ourselves to all the guys that have gone before us, but even like the guys that went into Afghanistan like a year or two before us, like there was so many contacts and firefights that you hear about the trips, and lost a fair few guys. So when we went on our trip, we were chasing that. We were infantry, so we were chasing that contact. We wanted it, and then we get trained up so much. It's kind of like like a junkyard dog. You get treated like shit all the time and get ready to go, and they're kicking your cage all the time. The cage opens, and there's no one there. You never get that bite, and then back in the cage. And then you catch up with the other junkyard dogs, and they're like, we fucking bit this dude and bit this dude. You're like, I didn't get a bite. I got none of that. So there's that, and I can't remember if you remember this. I want to say it was the march we did after our deployment. Maybe it was one we did just before, but we were marching through Brisbane, and we stopped out the front of I think it was Gilhooly's, and there were a whole bunch of guys on the balcony that were from our battalion that had gotten out, and they were already pissed. It was like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Remember that they were spitting on us? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, but I do remember you telling me about that afterwards.
Yeah, and so it's stuff like that where you think, I don't feel like I've earned my medals because the guys that have been on the trips before me, spit on me, tell me that your trip was nothing compared to mine. So of course we're gonna be worried about it and go, fuck, I don't want to wear my medals because I felt like I didn't earn them. But you grab someone off the street and say, hey, go to Afghanistan for a couple of months, see if they want to do it. At least we did that. We got to start learning to be proud of what we did.
For what it was. I mean, not everyone's going to have that same experience, and that's fine. Like, and even like one of our close mates who was, I can comfortably say, was definitely one of the most switched on guys out of us, and probably
Curto?
yeah,
Yeah.
achieved more. I think in his career, like reached slightly higher heights with his professionalism and the training that he did. And he was promised one trip, and then got that taken away from him. And then was promised another trip, then got that taken away from him. And then when everything was said and done, like left the military with no medals to show for it. But you know, out of pretty much everyone that I went over with, like I would have taken Kurt over a lot of the other guys that I did. But
Yeah,
it's just
mate, 100%. I know what you mean. Yeah,
someone's sitting in an office throwing darts at a wall of pictures, and that's how they.
Yeah, it was just like, you know, everyone deserves to go, especially, you know, Curto and all our mates.
Yeah.
Vitz as well. He's taking photos right now. Like, he deserved to go over with us.
Yeah.
But it's like, it was luck of the draw, you know. We were just holding the fucking thing when the music stopped.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, we're the ones holding. We're holding the pass, and they're like, righto, Archie, you can go up. Oh, sweet, thanks. But yeah, I want to talk to you about something that happened here a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you,
Yeah.
Can you walk us through that? Like, you called me.
Yeah.
It was just after we recorded that last episode, and I know you were feeling good after we recorded that, venting a lot of the stuff. What happened, man?
So, obviously, I started engaging in therapy through VBCS. So, VBCS is kind of outside of the scope of the Defence Force. So you can go and talk to VBCS, and they, you know, for free, and they'll you know, do all their reporting internally, and they don't report back to the Army or anyone about what you're talking about or anything like that. And like, obviously, unless you're threatening to hurt other people or yourself, in which case they have to, you know, obviously report that. But other than that, you're free to go in there and talk about whatever you want. And so I'd let work know that that's what I was doing, and they were being very supportive of that. And then it just so happened that coming up that week after the podcast, I had my 5-year medical come up, and obviously being in a good place with it, where I was being proactive and I was getting things sorted out. I felt like I was on a good path. I felt very comfortable being honest in that medical, and a part of that is like a prelim psychological assessment where you just, you know, tick the boxes and how you feel and whatnot. So, you know, normally you know where to tick to make sure you're going to get through. But on this one, I thought, well, make sure I'm covered under, you know, work will cover me if something down the track happens. I'm going to be covered for it. Right. Go through the medical and physical, no worries with that kind of stuff. And then at the end, she kind of turned around and went, so what are we going to talk about now? And kind of took me back a little bit. I'm like, I'm not sure. What do you mean? Because I'd already explained to her that, yep, I was seeing VBCS, I'm doing this, work supportive, so I thought there would be no dramas there.
Yep.
And she's like, okay, well, look, I because of the way you've indicated on your prelim test, I had a look at because I'd seen a military psychiatrist last year for a bit of a top-up, and she was having a look at what I was talking about there, and she's like, well, can you just tell me what you're going through now and whatnot? And I was just very candid and explained to her what was going on and whatnot, and as a result of that, I was mech downgraded, which essentially means that I think there's 3 or 4 classifications for your fitness in the military. Like J1 is good to go, J2 is you've got an injury but you can work within certain restrictions, and then J3 is there's an issue, be it like broken arm or torn something or with your mental health, that essentially means that you need to get rehabilitation before you're fit for duty again, which was, holy shit, man. Like, it threw me, like, because I'd never gone through any kind of that process, and all of a sudden she's talking about medical review boards and all these other things that I had heard about but never fully understood the process of. And so it's like, I kind of went into denial a little bit, like real quick. I'm like, no, look, everything's fine. It's not too bad. It's sweet.
Do you remember what you said in the questionnaire? That
so it's essentially like how you're feeling, like in the last 3 months, on a scale of 1 to 5, how anxious do you feel? A lot of the time, some of the time, those kind of questions.
Okay,
you know, how often do you feel those things? And mine, I think, indicated moderate or severe or something, depression and anxiety.
Yep.
And so I guess, like, like I was talking about last time after like, you know, having a bad day, and, you know, those still sort of thoughts come up, and not that I'm going to act on them, but I guess the analogy I used with her was, it's kind of like when you fantasize about winning the lottery, what you do with your winnings and things like that. For me, it's kind of the same way. It's kind of like, oh, if I next myself, shit, yeah, problems are over. But it's a thing that I think about, but I know that I'm not going to act on. So obviously that raises flags for people, and especially in the current climate with the military and things like that.
Yeah, you know, soldiering, you're around weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So people who don't understand, when you get told you're being downgraded, what does that mean for you?
So from that, I get what we call a chit, which is essentially just a bit of paper that says what I can and can't do at work. So mine essentially said I wasn't allowed to drive military vehicles, not allowed to touch weapons, not allowed to go near live ammunition. So, I mean, like, and it just, in my own head, it's fucking ridiculous, because I know I would never do anything to hurt anyone around me or myself. But, you know, the more I think about it, and like talking to my hierarchy and other people, like, I think what she's doing is just giving me enough space to be able to seek help and continue to seek help. Because, I mean, we've got some big exercises coming up soon that, you know, I'd be away for almost 2 months. Like, I was meant to go on a ship for a couple of months and shit like that. So if I did that, that would set back my...
So you've obviously been given the chit.
Yeah.
You can't go on exercise?
No, I'd have to get waivers and stuff, and my work's like, we're not even going to bother. Like, one, it's not going to be good for you, because... you know, we want you to stay here. We don't want you to discharge. We don't want you to transfer. So we're going to give you the space and the time that you need to sort out what you need to sort out, and then we'll go from there.
So day to day in your current role, how does the chit affect you? Does that restrict you on a day to day basis?
Oh, not so much day to day. I mean, you'll remember, like, you don't go out and do shoots all the time, stuff like that. But my position at work is a driver and a crew commander. So it's effectively like going out and taking cars, just simple things like taking cars out to the workshop, stuff like that.
So you can't do that now? Okay.
I can't do that. And like, it's simple as driving a car to one place to another.
So when you're told, or when you were told, hey, we got some issues here and this is what's going to happen. What went through your head at that time?
I was just like, my career's over. My life is fucked. Like, I was just like, all that was running through my mind was like, what the fuck else am I going to do? Like, I didn't finish high school. The military's basically all I've known. If you know... Hey,
well, hang on, mate. You do know how to sling some letters around. You were a postman, so don't write yourself off, all right?
Always fall back on that, sure.
Well, yeah, like, because I remember you called me after you had the medical appointment, and I could tell you did not sound good at all. And then when you told me, I got angry, because I'm like, this is the last thing you do to someone, you know, you don't isolate them, because I'm assuming you would have felt isolated.
Absolutely,
because
100%.
You want to do, you know, in the army, you work in small teams, you're around ammunition, you're around vehicles all the time, you get told, hey, we're pretty much going to isolate you for your own safety, for everyone's safety, so you can get better. But the soldier in you goes, oh, I shouldn't have fucking said anything at all.
Yeah, because it's straight up, I'm like, fuck, I've let everyone down. Like, I'm not going to, that was the main thing that's running through I've got to go back to work now. And it's not so bad because I knew the hierarchy knew what I was going through. So they knew what was going on. But then there was everyone else that I work with that doesn't know what's going on.
And you feel like
And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, Cluffy, can you go out and go pick that vehicle up from Amberley? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, why? What's up? Yeah, I just can't at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people now at work know, like, it's been a few weeks now and I've got a lot more comfortable talking about it and whatnot. And I'm fucking, again, so lucky with where I work that the guys are pretty understanding about what's going on. So,
which is good, because I remember when I was in, you know, if someone was on a chit, and I'm guilty of doing it. You know, someone produced a chit, and they're like, we're doing PT, and I can't run. You motherfucker. I'm like, warm up and join in and do PT. You know, don't be a linger. Like, just do it. So that mentality, even if, you know, obviously there's heaps of people where, Jesus, what's going on there? When really you can't do something.
Yeah.
But the mentality is, he's weak, or he's putting it on. But it's good that it's progressed, and you're seeing it now that people are understanding.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's an army-wide culture, or maybe it's just like how good my unit is. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just lucky, but I hope it's an army-wide culture of that.
I hope so. Well, you're out of the infantry now, for
Yeah.
anyone who doesn't know. So I obviously I don't know. We'll have to talk to Vitz later on, but I'd feel like infantry may not have progressed that much, just because the role of the job exactly and the type of people.
I can't confirm or deny.
Stop winking at me, Shane. All right? No, but yeah. So I get why you were worried.
I think that just comes down to the management and like having a good sergeant and good secos. They're the ones that drive that culture.
Yeah.
So, you can have from the higher ups and the big wigs, you can put in place as many programs as you want of this is how we want things to go. But unless you've got the right people in those positions to enable those things to happen,
yeah,
because the army is very good at at making things I feel available to us, like options, psychiatric and rehab and physio and all those kinds of things. But I think sometimes where the blockage is in those management roles.
Yeah, and how internally people think they're going to be perceived.
Oh, absolutely.
Without, that's the main hurdle.
Yeah. So I feel like, and the thing that has worked out in my favour has been being so honest with my boss, because he's turned around and said to me, like, because he knows that's one of my biggest drivers is not letting everyone down. He's like, you're not letting anyone down. It's fine. Because one of the other guys was meant to go on course straight after Hamel, and going straight from Hamel, not having any time off, going into a 4-month promotion course. Yep. If I was out there, he could have come back for 2 weeks prior to that, and then had a bit of time with his family before he took off. And so like feeling guilty about that. But he's like, look, he's going outfield anyway. It's not, you're not letting anyone down. It's fine. Yeah. So they've been really, really good about it.
Can I ask you? You can tell me to go fuck myself if you want, or not answer the question. Obviously, when we got out at the same time, 2013, you went into the post-service. From conversations, I knew that wasn't going to last because you basically said to me, I don't know anything else. Got back in the army. How everything's going now. Do you still enjoy it?
I love it. And I've found that recently in the last 2 weeks, the further down this path I go of seeking treatment and trying to get it sorted, the obstacles that I had at the start of the year where I was losing all interest in work are starting to break down a bit. Like I'm actually forcing myself to get more involved with it, and where before I was like starting to contemplate discharging again and stuff like that, I'm starting to see again the possibility of like the reasons why I got back in and the reasons why I enjoyed the job that
I honestly, if you discharge, like let's say in the next 12 months you decide to discharge, I would worry about you.
Yeah, it's not it wouldn't be a good move for me to make, because part of my problem is trying to figure out, or what I stress the most about is having purpose and meaning in my life. Yeah. And that's why I think I've been jumping jobs a fair bit in the last 6 years, has been a part of that. And so me constantly hopping job and job trying to find purpose and meaning I'm starting to realize that I'm not going to get that. And what I need to do is get back to is learn how to have relationships with people again instead of pushing everyone away, because that's my issue with my partner. That's been an issue with all of I'm sure you, Vitz, Kurt, have probably gone through a similar thing where you just, we live so far away, or even if we don't live that far away, it's too much for an effort to catch up, and I don't want to burden them with my issues and things like that. So you push everyone away, and trying to learn how to keep in touch and redevelop those relationships again is where I think I'm going to then be able to get over what I'm going through, because like my drinking's cut back a fair bit now, the frequency, but my intake when I do drink is still fucking ridiculous. Yeah. And the more and more I'm starting to realize, like, I've always known I've had a bit of a problem with it, but like to actually accept that and to like start to actually think in terms of like, fuck, I might actually even have to give this up, like, because it's so closely tied to my identity of how I see myself and my coping mechanism, how I can just engage with other people, and it's not fucking healthy. Like it's bad.
And I've been around you numerous times where you drink to that level, and there's this change in you where you get like really, really aggressive, not physically.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a time you challenged Kurdo to fight.
Show me some honor.
Where you show me some honor, then you just had to take your clothes off and fight out on the grass. But apart from that, you just like, there's a certain point, and I see it in you, I've seen it many ANZAC days, where, I don't know, you start verbally attacking people, and just like to get a rise out of them, and I'm like, there's something going on here.
Yeah.
And it's always when you're drinking to excess. And like lots of people do it, but there's something about it when you do it where I'm like, there's a real issue here.
Yeah, because there's a tipping point. There's a tipping point where I think actually start to allow myself to, or that filter's gone, so I start to actually feel emotions and things like that. Where I think generally day to day, disconnect or disassociate kind of myself from how I'm feeling.
Yep.
And that's one of the issues that I'm having in my therapy is because I treat it as like an intellectual exercise where I'm trying to analyze myself at the same time instead of processing the emotions that I'm feeling.
Yep.
So I'll be sitting there in therapy and I'll be like, okay, well, I'm doing A, B, and C, and I think it's because of this, that, and the other, which isn't really, it's not getting me anywhere.
Yeah.
What I need to do and what I just started to do is like, okay, well, fuck it. This is what happened to me today. And then I try as much as possible, and it's pretty early days, but I'm trying to like, just talk it out. And like, because my thing is I don't want to sound like I'm whinging, but that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
Because that's going to allow me to understand what I'm feeling, which I think is my issue, and why when I get to that stage, when I drink, it all of a sudden like boom, it just fucking overflows, and all the anger and rage that I have inside of me that I internalize onto myself then starts to become projected onto the world around me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've seen that in you many times. And finding other things to cope, like you said before we started recording, you want to get out more and look for hobbies, more distractions.
Yeah.
Do you know what you want to do?
Oh, mate. Like, I've got so many little things that pique my interest, like with the philosophy and psychology. Like, I want to go and do blacksmithing courses. I reckon that'd be
fucking
interesting, man.
That's out of left field.
Oh, dude, my missus cracks the shits because I'll get into bed and I won't take the headphones in with me, and she comes in out of the shower and all she hears is tink, tink, like just watching someone just banging on a piece of metal on an anvil. And I'm like, for me, it's so
therapeutic.
It is, dude. It's so soothing. It's like mesmerizing watching it and whatnot. And,
most guys just watch Pornhub, but blacksmith videos. If that's your thing, mate.
No, Madison gets cranky and I do that in the bed.
Fuck. Oh, yeah. Well, we need to find you something to do. You can't just play video games all the time.
Yeah, that's it. And like, I think one of the other main reasons I want to do that is for this podcast is be able to have like experiences. I mean, like today, like taking an Uber over to your place. I was dreading it because obviously I was like, fuck, that's an hour and 10-minute drive in an Uber, and I'm gonna have to talk. This guy's gonna want to talk. And that's a pain in my ass. So, but obviously I'm a bit standoffish at first. But once I started talking to the guy, like, what an interesting guy! Like, he's talking about working, like he's an electrical engineer for a civvy contract for the South African
Teammate,
Army.
I've been telling you for years, people can be interesting.
Being
social is a good thing. Don't be miserable all the time.
I know. Yeah. So, but.
It's like when we went to Ireland.
Yes.
And before we were planning this big Europe trip, and I remember when we were packing our stuff, you're like, mate, I'm probably not going to come back. I know I'm going to love it over there. I'm probably going to, while we're there, I'll see if I can find a job somewhere to stay. We fly in, night one, we're out.
These are my people.
Yeah, these are going to be my people, I'm just a journeyman. Night one, we get out, the second pub we're in, you're like, fuck this, mate. I just want to go back to the hotel and sleep. This isn't for me. And I had to like physically grab you and go, oi, stop being miserable. This is what you wanted. These are your people. I thought you were going to move here and get a job. And you're like, oh no, there's too many people. They're getting in my way. And I had to like shake you out of it and go, this is traveling, mate.
Yeah.
And then you loved it.
Oh, mate. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the best experiences of my life. Like Temple Bar.
The Temple Bar. Shout out to the Temple Bar. We got to do that again.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I want to do with my long service. I want to take Madison traveling for a few months and spend as much time as possible in Ireland.
Yeah, take me with you.
Oh, please come.
But
just get the in-laws to look after Boston, bring stickers. And,
for a month, yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
But apart from all that stuff, mate, how's everything else been? You been good?
Man, a lot.
You had your birthday the other day?
Cheers, man.
30?
No, 29.
29?
Not quite.
Oh,
No,
fuck.
yeah,
I always think you're the same age as me.
No, you were always the older and wiser one.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I turn 30 next week, but we're having our joint birthday party / dinner tonight. Obviously, see, I'm 30. I do feel old.
Well, you should, mate. How old's Boston now?
Oh, mate, over 18 months now. But like I was telling you before, because I'm dad lifing now and turning 30, like I'm definitely old. And I was out yesterday, Kmart, and I'm like, yep, got to buy some new threads for going out. I'm in Kmart, why not? Remember the days we used to shop at David Jones and Mark's?
After the, when we got back from our deployment, we were all cashed up. Yeah.
Now I'm like, I need a new set of shoes. Hang on, let me go back to the console and count my coins. But yeah, I'm in the shops yesterday. I'm like, I need some new clothes. I'm turning 30, birthday party. Got to wear something nice. So picked up like a new jumper. I'm like, the kids are wearing this. There's Roman numerals on it. Must be pretty trendy. I'm like, black skinny jeans. Got them. I need new shoes. White shoes. I'm seeing them everywhere on Instagram. God. Put them on. I'm like, stop dressing like a fucking dickhead, mate. Like, this isn't you. So get something more respectable.
If you would have been standing at the front of your house when I pulled up, I would have thought the Uber driver took me to the wrong place. Like, holy shit. All you're missing was a gold chain.
I know. Well, I'll put that on tonight. But yeah, you looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was anxious about it.
Why?
It's just social interaction. It's fucked.
Oh, you and fucking social interaction. What
I'm here, mate. I'm here.
Oh, no, I know. I love when I call you, like when we're planning to do more podcast episodes. And finally, when I think I got you in a good space, you're like, I don't know, mate. I don't know about this. Oh, I'm nervous again. What do you... It's just you and me talking.
I know, it's good.
Over a couple of coffees.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Are you starting to feel old yet?
Feeling old?
Yeah.
Physically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You noticing any differences?
Yeah, I think I told you that I was at work the other day and had to jump over a fence. And
no, you didn't.
Didn't I?
No,
there's this like fence we couldn't get through. So I'm like, I'll jump over. And the bloke's like, all right, I'll jump on my back and jump over. And I'm like, righto. And I've like got to the top of the fence and I'm like, me hammy. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I've cramped up at the top of the fence. I'm like, Jesus, what? I used to leap through over these things. Yeah, like that.
Bloody cotton wool cops, mate.
Cotton wool cops. But physically, but that's because I don't get to train anymore.
Yeah.
My interests, like...
Well, I suppose between you and Stickers and your shift work, like...
Oh, mate.
You'd struggle to get to the gym.
Oh, mate, I always plan it, and then, because she's back full time, so we've got to plan... Someone's got to do a morning shift, someone's got to do an afternoon shift, so they can always be looking after Boston if he's not at daycare. Like, we hardly see each other. And there's the sleep deprivation, and yeah, man, like I hardly ever get to go to the gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, physically, I'm feeling older.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like my interest now, because I don't really get to do anything. I'd rather just any free time. I'm like, let's just sit home and watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Like a night off for me and the missus now is, let's get takeaway and watch Netflix. That's it. What about you? Well, because you're still pretty active, because you're still in the army and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more my own fault because I'll have stretches where I won't do anything. I become quite inactive, and I mean, I did my first PT session in, I think it would have been close to 2 weeks on Wednesday, and mate, I'm like, you might have known, I'm limping around a little bit because I've still got DOMS.
Oh Jesus!
But like, because I don't want to look like a shit cunt in front of everyone, like I got to make sure I'm doing more than everyone else, and then like that was good, and then I'll go into the shower, I'm like.
You're the veteran.
Fuck.
You're the veteran out of everyone. So you're still smoking?
Yeah, mate, of course.
Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah, it's great.
Good. Have you dropped the number or?
Nah, it's weird actually. Like while I'm at work, it's like a chimney, and I don't know why. But then I'll come home and I won't have like over a weekend. I'll go a whole weekend without smoking or anything. And I don't think it's because it's not that I'm stressed out at work or anything like that. But I think it's just being around other people that smoke.
Yeah, see, I don't have any of that. In the police, like, no one smokes.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, can you smoke in uniform?
Well, not in public.
Not in public?
Well, see, I don't know anyone that smokes.
Yeah, right.
So,
that's
like,
weird.
there are people that smoke, but they normally wait till they're at the station. They go to the back
vape?
of the station.
Do they vape?
I haven't seen anyone vape.
No.
Well, they wouldn't do it publicly anyway, due to the public shaming. But now, like, if someone smokes, and this is where, like, the world's gone now, of how people don't like people who smoke. If someone goes, I'm just going out for a smoke, everyone's like,
Oh, fuck, mate, you can't even change your baby's nappy.
Well, then, without having to ask them for consent. That just came out yesterday. There's that too.
It's so good.
I asked Boston, and he told me to go fuck myself. It was really weird. They grow up so quick.
So quick. Yeah, I'm trying to, because obviously that's some of the shit that riles me up, but...
Yeah, I know it does. Well, do you remember when I used to go to your room? This was after I'd wake you up from you drinking all night. And because I like to watch the news, just to see what's going on. I'll put the Today Show on. And you just go on that rant every morning. I'm like, what would you... this mainstream media. You know, you were saying fake news before Donald Trump was around. I was like, shut up, mate. I just want to see the footy scores. Is it a crime?
How good's Carl?
How good's Carl stepping over?
You're in love with him.
He's still good.
No.
Well, mate, should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Another good episode. Good catching up. We'll hopefully enjoy tonight. Hopefully get you out, be a bit social. I know you've already said you're not going to drink that much, but we'll see how we go.
We'll see how that plays out. Well, I've got to be a little bit. I've got to get better.
You do. All right, mate. Well, until next time.
Catch up.
See you, bro.